So here's the scenario. The family is saying, let's go for a nice winter holiday somewhere near Perisher or Mount Buller. You're thinking you need an SUV. It needs to be four-wheel drive. It needs to fit the whole family. But you want something a bit special. Well, maybe this. The all-new Mercedes-Benz GLB might tick the box. It's coming to Australia in late 2026. And here's everything you need to know about the second generation GLB. Choice is the name of the game with the new GLB, and while you can opt for a fully electric version, there is also this, the Mercedes-Benz GLB Hybrid, which is powered by a 1.5-litre turbocharged petrol engine and mated to a 48-volt hybrid system. While specific outputs for the GLB have not been confirmed, the same engine family is available in the new CLA hybrid sedan, and in the CLA 220 offers 140 kilowatts and 300 Nm output, with a claimed fuel consumption of 5.3 litres per 100 kilometres. The new GLB is able to use the hybrid system for full electric driving at low speed and when coasting at high speeds, thanks to a very clever 8-speed twin-clutch transmission that can be completely disengaged from the drivetrain when running on electric power to further aid with the car's efficiency. The GLB Hybrid will be offered with either a front-wheel drive or a 4MATIC all-wheel drive version when it comes to Australia. So the GLB is going to come to Australia with two powertrain options. This one, which is the all-new 1.5-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol-hybrid system, and of course there is a fully electric. Now this car is probably the one that you're thinking is going to suit your life a little bit more, particularly for Australian use. It's a very efficient hybrid. Mercedes-Benz have developed this for this new platform, which includes the smaller CLA compact sedan, but you've got a very efficient driveline here, which is kind of the thing you want for a car that's going to spend a lot of its time around town and then maybe go a little bit more further afield. But let's go through some of the key things, because there are a lot of personalisation and selection options on this car, the biggest of which is you can have it either 5 or 7 seats. So the new GLB has grown from the old car. It's about 10 centimetres longer overall, but you've got 60mm extra between the wheels, and all of that has translated into interior space, and we'll get to that in a tick. You've got a bigger car. It's wider. It is a little bit lower than the previous one, which was, a bit square and tall and boxy, but it is a far more, I guess, modern and stylish looking vehicle. You've got the Mercedes-Benz star lights at both ends. You've got some pretty fun features like the star headliner. That massive panoramic roof does add a lot of interior headspace as well as light to the cabin. But in terms of a style positioner, this is now knocking on the door of the older GLC in terms of size. So you've got a far more practical, usable option. And like I said, you can have it either with 5 or 7 seats. So the most important part of a car like this is the rear passenger space. And I'm kind of swimming in room here. It's quite impressive. That extra 6 centimetres between the wheels has been applied to this second row. Now, there's a couple of things. You can move the row forward and backward about 14 centimetres, and that's whether it is an option on a 5-seater and it's standard on a 7-seater. But the giant panoramic roof has given me about an extra 3 centimetres of headroom, and I think in terms of that, it's quite enough. Now, I'm 6'4", that is in my driving position. I've got these giant big snow boots on, and I've got stacks of room. My knees are a long way, my toes are a long way. I can kind of move around a little bit here. You've got central armrest with a phone holder and cup holders. So for adults even sitting in the back, it is a very usable space. In terms of amenity, big door bins, twin USB-C chargers, plus air vents back here. Now the boot is up on the old car. It's about 500 litres, give or take, depending on whether it's the 7 or the 5 seat. We'll see what happens when the car comes to Australia so we can actually use that real measurement. But then let's jump up front, because the technology layer that's been put into the GLB, like we've seen in the CLA, is actually really impressive. Oh, now I'm up here, don't mind me, I'm going to turn on the heated seats and heated steering wheel just because, well, I can. Up here, you've got a Mercedes-Benz Super Screen, they call it. Now, I'm not sure whether this is going to be optional or standard equipment in Australia. It is optional in some markets, but let's consider it to be probably the thing that you would choose, because if you're in the showroom and you're looking at this thing, it's going to be pretty hard to go past. You've got a 10.25-inch driver information display like we've seen in other Mercedes-Benz models. Nice and easy there. You can customize it and configure it to do what you need to. There's a head-up display here as well, so you're getting your navigation and speed information projected onto the road. In the center, there is a 14-inch touchscreen here. There's a camera in the center of this too, which I'll talk about in a minute. But then for the passenger, there is another 14-inch screen. And one of the things that Mercedes-Benz have done with this new operating system is really try to, Well, they're upping the entertainment factor of the car. You've got apps on here where you can watch videos and play games, probably not in Australia, but they're trying to make it a little bit more fun. They've added themes and colors and all sorts of things. And what is quite interesting, the panoramic roof you can get with an opacity, a digital opacity capability, so it can be clear or it can be milky. And there are 158 stars on the roof that you can change the color of depending on your driving mode. Do you need that in your car? Probably not, but it does make it a little bit more fun, and it does show the layer of technology that's coming into this, which, let's remember, is going to be the entry level or close to Mercedes-Benz SUV. You've got GLC and E and S sitting above this. The GLB is going to look pretty impressive. Now, before we go, here are some call-outs. The navigation function is now powered by Google Maps, so you get all of that live data. And as you can see, it is a crystal clear display that you can see very impressive satellite overlays here. You've got an application layer here, which includes an off-road mode for the GLB, and there is a transparent bonnet camera. So we've seen that in the GLC already, that basically gives you a view of what you're driving over. So if you are going a little bit more adventurous with your GLB, you can use some of the features there. The other applications that are here, obviously you get the standard stuff with device projection, you've got your vehicle settings and other bits and pieces, but there are some more fun things. You've got a sound experience mode, so you can change the augmented audio coming through into the cabin if you really like. You've got an energizing mode here, so you can turn it on and it changes the desktop background, and you get different seat movements, and you get all sorts of things happening with the lights just in case you need that. But all of these can evolve over time, and Mercedes-Benz are saying that this has now become like a smartphone. So they're developing the operating system in the car to work to not only what market trends are saying, but to specific market trends. So some of these features we may not get in Australia, but it just goes to show the flexibility that you get. In terms of what the passenger gets, it is more of the infotainment and entertainment functions. They can adjust the playlists and the music that are happening. You obviously need your co-pilot to be there for the screen to work, but there are some pretty fun features here, and I think it is a way of seeing a car like this step up from being, well, perhaps a little bit conservative into being a far more younger buyer focused and a little bit more technology focused platform. The rear end of the car is quite striking too. You've got the Mercedes-Benz star elements here that light up. You've got a new LED strip. And the boot itself is actually really practical. You've got a bit above 500 litres for a 5-seater and a bit below 500 litres for a 7-seater. Then of course you can fold down the middle row and get even more space in there. Now, just quickly before we go, this is the GLB in AMG line. There is a progressive line as well that gets rid of the colour-coded wheel arches and puts some black overlay on there. But anyway, when the car comes to Australia, you will have all the choices of colours, trims, options, 5 or 7 seats, and of course, petrol or fully electric. So if you are in the market for a premium SUV that ticks the box on a lot of practicality values and is not the most expensive thing in the showroom, the all-new GLB will be touching down in Australia in mid to late 2026. We'll get a chance to drive the car there on local roads, so stay tuned to see everything that is happening with this car. If you've got any questions in the meantime, hit us up in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this clip, hit like, subscribe, but head over on to Drive.com.au for all of the latest details about the new GLB, including pricing as it comes to hand before the car arrives in Australia.